Hello and welcome back to our channel, where we explore the fascinating world of psychology and human behavior. In today's video, we're diving into an intriguing topic, 20 psychological tips on how to read anyone instantly. Understanding the thoughts, emotions, and intentions of those around us can provide valuable insights and enhance our interpersonal relationships. So, whether you're interested in improving your communication skills, decoding hidden emotions, or simply gaining a better understanding of human behavior, this video is for you. Get ready to unlock the secrets of reading people like a pro. Let's dive right in. 1. Nonverbal cues. Notice the subtleties in body language, such as crossed legs, leaning towards or away from someone, or playing with objects. These cues can provide insights into a person's level of comfort, engagement, or even attraction. Facial expressions can be particularly telling. A furrowed brow might indicate confusion or concern, while a genuine smile involves not only the mouth but also the eyes, known as a Duchenne smile. Pay attention to the direction of someone's feet. When they are pointed towards you, it typically signifies interest and engagement, while pointed away may suggest a desire to disengage or leave the conversation. 2. Eye movements. Rapid eye movements or darting eyes might indicate nervousness or anxiety. It could be a sign that the person is feeling uncomfortable or trying to evade a certain topic of conversation. Prolonged eye contact can suggest attentiveness and interest. However, it's essential to consider cultural norms and individual differences, as some people may find extended eye contact uncomfortable or confrontational. Note that eye movements should be interpreted in clusters rather than isolated instances. It's the combination of eye movements, along with other nonverbal cues, that provides a more accurate understanding of someone's thought processes. 3. Microexpressions. Microexpressions typically last for a fraction of a second, and they can be subtle. It takes practice and keen observation to detect them. Look for fleeting expressions of surprise, contempt, or sadness that may contradict the person's overall demeanor. Keep in mind that interpreting microexpressions requires caution. It's important to consider the context, the individual's baseline behavior, and other corroborating cues to accurately gauge their emotional state. Training yourself to recognize microexpressions can be beneficial in various contexts, such as negotiations, interviews, or even everyday interactions, as it allows you to pick up on subtle emotional cues that may be otherwise hidden. 4. Vocal tone and pitch. High-pitched voices are often associated with excitement or nervousness, while a lower and more relaxed tone may indicate confidence or calmness. Notice if someone's voice trembles or cracks, as it can be a sign of anxiety, stress, or strong emotions. Pay attention to sudden shifts in tone, volume, or speech rate, as they can reveal underlying feelings or reactions. Silence and pauses can also convey meaning. A hesitant pause might indicate uncertainty or a deliberate attempt to choose words carefully, while a prolonged silence can signify discomfort or withholding information. 5. Verbal patterns. Listen for specific words or phrases that people frequently use, as they can provide insights into their interests, values, or areas of expertise. For example, someone who frequently uses technical jargon might be knowledgeable in a particular field. Pay attention to the way someone structures their sentences. Some individuals may use more formal language, while others opt for colloquial or informal speech patterns. These choices can reflect their personality, education, or cultural background. Notice if someone tends to use qualifiers or hedging phrases, such as maybe, sort of, or I guess. It can suggest uncertainty or a lack of confidence in their statements. 6. Listening skills. Effective listening involves not only hearing the words but also picking up on the emotions, motivations, and underlying messages conveyed. Active listening requires being fully present, avoiding distractions, and giving the speaker your undivided attention. Engage in reflective listening by paraphrasing or summarizing what the person said. This not only demonstrates that you are actively listening but also gives them an opportunity to clarify or expand on their thoughts. Use open-ended questions to encourage the person to share more information and express their thoughts and feelings. This allows you to gather additional insights and understand their perspective more deeply. 7. Empathy and emotional intelligence. Empathy involves understanding and sharing the emotions of others. Cultivating empathy helps you connect with people on a deeper level and read their emotions more accurately. Emotional intelligence refers to the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions as well as those of others. Developing emotional intelligence enhances your ability to read people effectively by attuning yourself to their emotional cues. Practice active empathy by actively trying to understand the emotions behind someone's words and actions. Consider their background, experiences, and current circumstances to gain a more comprehensive understanding of their emotional state. 8. Contextual analysis. Consider the specific context in which someone's behavior occurs. People's actions can be influenced by the environment, cultural norms, social dynamics, or personal circumstances. Taking these factors into account helps you interpret their behavior more accurately. For example, a person who appears aloof or disengaged in a crowded social gathering might be introverted or overwhelmed by the sensory stimuli. Understanding the context helps you avoid misjudgments and appreciate individual differences. Be aware that cultural norms and expectations vary across different societies and can significantly impact communication styles, personal space boundaries, and the expression of emotions. Adapting your reading approach to the cultural context increases your accuracy in understanding others. 9. Microgestures. Microgestures involve small hand movements or gestures that can convey subtle meanings. For example, tapping fingers might indicate impatience or eagerness, while stroking the chin might suggest contemplation or thoughtfulness. Pay attention to clusters of microgestures rather than individual gestures, as they can offer more reliable cues about a person's emotional state or level of comfort. Cultural differences may influence the interpretation of microgestures, so it's essential to consider the individual's cultural background and avoid making hasty judgments based on gestures alone. 10. Personal space. Personal space preferences can vary from person to person and across different cultures. Pay attention to someone's reactions to physical proximity, as it can reflect their comfort level and establish boundaries. Invading personal space might cause discomfort or signal aggression, while maintaining a respectful distance shows consideration and respect. Keep in mind that personal space preferences can be influenced by cultural norms, individual experiences, and the nature of the relationship. Being mindful of these factors helps you interpret personal space cues accurately. 11. Mirror and matching. Mirroring someone's body language, speech patterns, or gestures can create a subconscious sense of familiarity and rapport. It helps establish a connection and promotes a sense of mutual understanding. Look for subtle cues of mirroring, such as adopting similar postures, gestures, or even speech patterns. It indicates a level of comfort and agreement between individuals. Mirroring should be done subtly and naturally, without appearing forced or mimicking the person's every move. It should be a tool for building rapport rather than manipulation. 12. Psychological archetypes. Psychological archetypes represent universal patterns of behavior and characteristics. Recognizing these archetypes helps you understand people's motivations, desires, and fears. Familiarize yourself with common archetypes such as the caregiver, the hero, the rebel, or the sage. Understanding these patterns can provide insights into someone's core personality traits and their typical behavioral tendencies. It's important to remember that while archetypes can offer valuable insights, each individual is unique and may not fit neatly into a single archetype. 13. Gestures and hand movements. Hand gestures can enhance communication and convey additional meaning. Pay attention to how people use their hands during conversations, as it can provide insights into their emotions, intentions, or emphasis on certain points. Clenched fists or tight hand gestures might indicate frustration, anger, or a desire to control. Open palm gestures often convey openness, honesty, or a welcoming attitude. Cultural norms can influence the interpretation of gestures, so it's important to consider cultural differences and individual variations when reading people's hand movements. 14. Congruence of verbal and nonverbal communication. Inconsistencies between what someone says and their nonverbal cues can signal hidden emotions or deceit. Pay attention to discrepancies between their words, facial expressions, body language, and tone of voice. For example, if someone claims to be excited about an opportunity but displays crossed arms, a furrowed brow, or a lack of enthusiasm in their voice, it's essential to consider the nonverbal cues as a more accurate reflection of their true feelings. However, it's important to note that cultural differences, individual variations, and context should be considered to avoid jumping to conclusions solely based on incongruence. 15. Baseline behavior. Establishing a baseline of someone's typical behavior in neutral situations helps you detect deviations and recognize changes in their demeanor. Pay attention to their normal patterns of speech, body language, and emotional expressions. Once you have a baseline, notice any significant deviations from their usual behavior. It could indicate underlying stress, discomfort, or emotional changes that may be influencing their current state. Keep in mind that baseline behavior may vary from person to person, so it's important to consider individual differences and avoid making assumptions based on generalized expectations. 16. Rapport building. Building rapport is a crucial aspect of reading people effectively. Show genuine interest in their thoughts, feelings, and experiences to establish a connection and foster trust. Use active listening techniques, such as nodding, maintaining eye contact, and providing verbal affirmations, to demonstrate your engagement and understanding. Empathize with their emotions, validate their experiences, and avoid judgment or interrupting. When people feel heard and understood, they are more likely to open up and reveal their true selves. 17. Intuition. Intuition, or gut feelings, can provide valuable insights into a person's emotions, intentions, or trustworthiness. Sometimes, your subconscious mind picks up on subtle cues that your conscious mind may not fully process. Pay attention to your instinctive reactions when interacting with someone. If you have a sense that something is off or that someone is being deceptive, it's worth exploring further by gathering additional information or observing their behavior more closely. However, it's important to balance intuition with objective analysis and avoid making hasty judgments solely based on intuition. 18. Cultural awareness. Cultural differences significantly influence communication styles, nonverbal cues, and social norms. Be aware of these differences to avoid misinterpreting someone's behavior or emotions based on your own cultural lens. Familiarize yourself with cultural practices, gestures, and customs of different communities to develop a more nuanced understanding of their communication patterns. Be sensitive to cultural context and avoid making assumptions or generalizations. Seek to understand individuals within the framework of their own cultural background. 19. Behavioral consistency. Notice if someone's behavior remains consistent over time or if it varies significantly. Consistency suggests authenticity and congruence between their words, actions, and values. Significant behavioral changes might indicate underlying issues, conflicts, or attempts to conceal certain aspects of themselves. Pay attention to shifts in their behavior, emotional responses, or attitudes that seem inconsistent with their usual patterns. However, it's important to consider that people's behavior can naturally vary in different contexts or situations. Allow room for individual differences and consider additional factors before drawing conclusions. 20. Practice and observation. Reading people effectively requires practice and continuous observation. Actively observe individuals in various settings, pay attention to their verbal and nonverbal cues, and analyze their behavior and emotional expressions. Engage in role-playing exercises or watch films and analyze characters' behaviors to enhance your observation skills. The more you practice and consciously pay attention to the intricacies of human behavior, the better you'll become at reading people accurately. And that brings us to the end of our video on 20 psychological tips on how to read anyone instantly. We hope you found these insights valuable and that they empower you to connect with others on a deeper level. Remember, reading people is a skill that takes practice, observation, and empathy. By honing your ability to interpret verbal and nonverbal cues, you can gain a greater understanding of human behavior and build stronger, more meaningful relationships. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content, and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.